It's time to go to the charts. It's S&D 500. All right, a lot of stock rising this week. Who you got on your radar?
If we look at Calgary, the one guy that is surging.
Really?
Surging.
Okay. Not purging.
Don't look at me, chestnut checkers. All right. It's got to be Ruggsy Millen-Moore. 25-6-4 versus Winnipeg in a win. 27-8-4 versus Sask in a win. He's finally hitting his shots. The three ball is falling, and so it's helping his team get going offensively. They were struggling from the three-point line early in the season. Now that they have their shot maker, they look a lot better offensively. That is the one riser. The other one is like Vancouver's front court, but I'll break it down player by player. James Karnik is one of the guys who's just like this big bruising body. He had 11 points versus Calgary in a win. He had 16 and 13 versus Edmonton. So he's just being this aggressive guy. And then Nick Ward is also doing what he does. You talked about him last week, but he is so important to what they do in the interior. The combination of him and the guard play is making what Vancouver looks so good offensively. He had 18 versus Calgary, 21 points and 10 rebounds versus Edmonton.
While we're with Vancouver, were you going to bring up Curtis Hollis?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. My bad.
No, but do you think I'll let you?
Well, it was such a great story, right?
Yeah.
Tajay Moore is out, working out for Milwaukee, Atlanta, Portland. So, Curtis Hollis comes in his first game, scores 21,
amazing.
9 for 13, 6 rebounds, 5 steals. If that team couldn't get any deeper, it just did.
Yeah, so I'm kind of curious what happens once Tajay comes back, or how they incorporate them all in. There's just so much talent, and it makes so much sense. You know when a roster makes sense, like every piece just fits perfectly. That's what it feels like with Vancouver. And yeah, Curtis Hollis just coming in and banging threes. He looked great.
Right. So you talked about stocks going up. Is there someone that you want to call out maybe?
Yeah, I not really call out because he is my guy. He's super, super nice. This is Zane Waterman from Brampton on the Honey Badgers. The last 3 games, he started out the season great. He was, near the top of the league in scoring. He was doing so
top
efficiently.
3,
yeah, it looked really, really good, and Brampton looked good because of it. But they've lost 5 in a row now. They've had a bit of a skid, and a lot of that is because Zane hasn't been his best. In their loss against Scarborough, 6 points, 4 fouls, didn't play the rest of the fourth quarter. In their loss against Saskatchewan, 5 points, ejected in that one after 10 minutes. And then in their loss against Winnipeg, 10 points in 23 minutes. Also was it felt like he was getting bothered by the officiating. And I understand he's the team captain. He's sort of the vocal leader of this team. But you also have to be composed. Right. You have to be poised in certain situations. And Brampton right now, if you watch their last 3 or 4 games, their fourth quarter execution has been rough.
Absolutely.
So that's the one guy. Again, I know Zane is going to be able to bounce back, but I think that's the one that I'm looking at to see how he can bounce back.
And if we've learned anything, Brampton only goes as far as he does, right?
As we.
No,
I'm kidding.
I'm not going there. Too many upset Brampton fans.
You're right.
I got too many games to cover over there, so I'm not doing that to myself. But we want to see him do well. He's a passionate guy.
Absolutely.
And, he really wants this team to do well.
And he has the talent. He has the ability to be one of the best players in the league. It's just about finding that ability again.
Absolutely. And I got one more honorable mention. Javon Blair out of Niagara, team that we get to cover. It's great to see he's finally coming into his own, right? 4th in the league in points per game, 26 against the Stingers, 21 against the Sea Bears, 22 against the Stars in a loss, 23 points per game in his last 3. That team is looking for an identity. They're finally trying to establish that, without Khalil Ahmad in the roster. They're missing AJ Davis as well, so it's great to see Javon Blair stepping up.